Welcome to the Psychology World podcast. I'm Connor Whiteley, bringing you psychology news, articles, and other interesting psychology-related articles. Where I can find the podcast notes and more interesting psychology-related things, and you can get your free 8 psychology book box set at connorwhiteley.net. Now let's get on to the show. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 55 of the Psychology World podcast with me, Connor Whiteley, and today's episode is on the Changing Landscapes 2040. And if you remember a few months ago, probably about July time, I mentioned that I wrote this article for the British Psychological Society because they did a call out because they wanted submissions on a specific topic. So I thought, yes, I'll do it, and I sent it back in April. But of course I had technical issues, so it never got sent. So I was debating what to do with this bit of intellectual property for being technical, but this submission thing, and I was gonna submit it to the British Psychological Site Talk magazine, which is the student version. But I thought, no, I don't want to put this behind me. So I thought I would do a little in-between episode for you, and hopefully you will find it useful. And as always, I would love to know your thoughts on it. So as usual, you can always tweet me on Twitter at Sci-Fi Whiteley, email me connorwhiteley@connorwhiteley.net, or you can always leave a comment on the show notes at connorwhiteley.net. And because this is an in-between episode, there's no sponsored product for today's episode. But as always, I have tons of books available. I have audiobooks that I self-narrate. So I just wanted to let you know that I have lots of different products, so that if you did want to know more about psychology, and if you wanted to learn a bit about myself, because I put a lot of myself and a few personal bits in my psychology books, then please check them out. And just as a reminder, you can always get them for free at your local library if you request them, and that's the ebook. And if it's available in audiobook, then available in audiobooks. So let's move on to the episode. So Changing Landscapes 2040 Visions by Connor Whiteley. Okay, so open quote. Turning my head as I sip my coffee, I no longer see the four walls of my office, and I no longer have to commute an hour each day merely to get to the nearest NHS trust so I can treat my patients. Instead, I see the young minds of budding psychologists all around me, hoping to deliver treatment with other trained professionals all in the same room as myself. The reason for us being in the same working environment isn't because of budget cuts, NHS problems, nor the rise of people who need mental health treatment or aid. Instead, it is because most NHS psychologists work in co-working spaces now, as this allows us to deliver teletherapy, which after the coronavirus pandemic and other problems all those years ago became more popular and critical in the field of psychotherapy. My friend waves at me as she logs into her computer to deliver a new type of psychotherapy that was especially adapted for teletherapy, and as the world evolved to need mental health professionals more and more, it was only logical for new psychotherapies to be made for this new online era. Also, she mouthed thank you to me because I helped her with a formulation for one of her clients that she was stuck with. The simple act reminded me why I preferred these new co-working spaces when the NHS first emphasised them. Of course I hated them, because surely in-person psychotherapy in an NHS hospital was the only place for treatment. But I was wrong. I love these co-working spaces because it gave me the chance to network with other amazing professionals, and it wasn't rare for us to talk shop and bounce ideas off one another, as well as I know the great impact that this has on my clients. Of course, there is always the need for psychotherapy to be delivered in person, and that's another great benefit to this new co-working way of life, as it allows us to be mobile. So when we need to, we can quickly jump in our cars or public transport to deliver treatment to the client in the comfort of their own home. Despite my resistance to this co-working stuff at first, the past 20 years have changed the world and psychology forever, and if I want to continue to deliver therapy and support the people in need, then I must change as well. Close quote. I forgot how nice it actually is, if I do say so myself. What it says afterwards is, knowing what a lot of people will be thinking, including myself at one point, I wanted to take this opportunity to tell that teletherapy and co-working spaces aren't new, or this new mystical thing that will end the profession as we know it. As a result, there are many examples of co-working spaces designed specifically for mental health professionals currently being used. For example, the Collaborative in Miami, Florida. In addition, there's been research into the effectiveness of teletherapy, and one JAMA article in 2012 found that cognitive behavioural therapy delivered through teletherapy is just as effective as traditional CBT, as well as the study found that the dropout rate was lower for the patients receiving CBT through teletherapy. Another study that explores the effectiveness of teletherapy was published in the Journal of Affective Disorders in 2014, and it found that teletherapy was just as effective at treating depression, if they're not better than the traditional in-person CBT. So, as you can see, teletherapy as well as co-working spaces could be the future of psychology, as teletherapy in the case of CBT is effective, and as the world changes after the COVID-19 pandemic, teletherapy could rise in popularity as the profession adapts to meet the needs of our people. Yes, that's the article. I really hope you enjoy it, and I will be back to normal, so I'll see you on Monday. So have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see the show notes, then please go to connorwhiteley.net. And if you want a free 8-book psychology box set, then please go to connorwhiteley.net. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.